noticed that when we start, it takes a couple of minutes for people to come on board. So I'm just going to doof along for a little minute until we've got a few people here this morning. So don't forget to say hi to me this morning so we know you're on there, and we'll get started. It's actually a pretty nice day out there again today. It's we've been really blessed with the weather, I have to say. I think it would be harder for people if we were locked down and it was miserable all the time, whereas it's actually quite sunny. So, how are we going there this morning, Miss Malika? Who have we got joined us? Somebody.
I'm not 100% sure. I can't actually see.
Oh. Good morning. Okay, so we are going to start because we've given you a few minutes to get in there. And if you join us, just say hi as we go. So to start with this morning, did anybody make the beetroot soup yesterday? Well, I made so much that we had heaps over that I was able to give it away to people. So I hope they enjoy it too. I really loved it. I just think it's so nice that I even had it for breakfast this morning. Cold. I didn't even heat it up. I just really enjoyed it as it was. I didn't make any more of the toast because I really enjoyed that too. And I thought I might eat more toast than I did of the beetroot soup. So I decided against that. So this morning, and the other thing, sorry, that we made is those little crackles. They came up really nice as well. Hope and I haven't tried them. Again, I had quite a few over, so we've just parcelled them out to people, dropped them in letterboxes this morning, so I hope you enjoy those. But what we're going to do today is stuffed apples, and seriously, it's so easy. So my apples are getting a bit squishy, and I don't like eating them like this. I don't like that floury, chalky sort of feel, so I just cut the core out. And you can be quite random with it. You don't have to be careful at all. So you cut that out and make a big hole there. And just take a little bit, just take the tiny bit out the bottom, like that. Very simple. So basically you've just got a big hole, you can see right through. And then you can just stuff it. Now I've got dates here, but if you don't like dates, you could put raisins or apricots or figs or prunes, or actually you could chop up a little bit of everything, and you just stuff them, literally. Push them down in there into that apple. No sugar, no brown sugar, no coconut sugar. You don't need anything else. You know, in the Bible, God gave us dates, and he says that they are the sweetener of life. So, you know, dates are a blessing for us and healthy. If you are diabetic, just be careful with dates, because obviously they will spike your blood sugar. So just be really, really careful. The other thing is, when you are eating this kind of food, make sure you're drinking lots and lots of water, because for all of us, we want really good immune systems, eh? And so all you have to do is put those into your oven. I'm going to use my little oven again today because it did such a good job for me yesterday. So I put them on about 180, and they should take about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Now they make a great breakfast. They make a really nice breakfast, and you can cook them the night before in your oven and just have them ready to warm up the next morning, or you can cook them in the morning. You can actually make them, stuff them, put a bit of lemon juice on them so they don't go brown, and cook them the next morning, if that makes sense. Okie dokie. And how is your sprouting going? I got one picture of sprouts. Thanks, Catherine. That was awesome to see that you've done those. And Catherine, very cleverly, by the look of it, she did a mixture of sprouts. She did lots of different sprouts into one container and has sprouted those. So as you'll see here, these sprouts, now when did we put these on?
I'm not sure.
It wasn't yesterday. Was it the day before? What day are we even at?
Wednesday.
Must have been Monday. It was either Sunday or Monday we soaked these lentils. Now as you can see, they are, I would call these ready. So they've got their little, can you see that? They've got their little legs on them, and they are ready to go.
Asher says hi.
Who's that?
Asher.
Hi Asher! I haven't even got to see your bubby. I'm going to make an effort after this. Anyway, we love you guys. Glad you're here. So we've got our lentils and we're going to throw some of them into a bowl. Now these make a great meal. Remember that lentils are high protein. You can just put the lid on those now. You don't have to keep rinsing them. Once they're ready, just put a lid on them and pop them into your fridge. The quicker you eat them after they've sprouted, the more nutritious they are. Now remember that lentils are really high in protein. So I had someone ask PM yesterday to say, where are you getting all your protein from? I guess because we're used to having chunks of flesh that we think, oh, something's got to look like a patty or a pie or something to get protein. But of course there's protein in everything, and lentils are very high in protein. And of course you get more goodies out of them if they're still live. So if you just sprout them, if you sprout them, we still call them live food. So we're going to make a lentil salad. Now that is so simple and so easy. I like to have lots of variety, because variety is how you get your nutrition. So, and lots of greens. I love lots of greens. But today we're going to use our lentils as our green and as our protein. Now this could be the main part of your meal. You could just have a bowl of this and you wouldn't need to have anything else, and you'd have total nutrition here for the day. So you're gonna pop in some, I've put Kalamanti Olives in there, and some people don't like those. Try and get to like them because they've got a nice healthy fat. And then you've got your sun-dried tomatoes. Some people don't like those as well, and that's okay, because you know what? Sun-dried tomatoes are really just flavour and taste. I've chopped up some cucumber there, diced up that cucumber. We're just about out of cucumber season, aren't we? Which is really sad. Do you know that one of my girls, Tori, she was really funny. When she was little, actually she still likes them now, but she's not so crazy about it. When she was little, if I didn't wrap her up a cucumber for her birthday, oh, you'd think I'd burnt the house down. She was so upset. So we always had to wrap her up a cucumber. And if people were there, they thought, man, we were weird. But she really loved it. It was probably always her favourite pressie. And then lastly, but not least, I'm going to put in these gherkins. Now, I love the baby gherkins, and I just split them in half. You'll notice that I didn't chop the olives up, and I've only split the gherkins in half. Now, you can chop them up really fine if you want to, but I like, when I make a salad like this, I like to have a burst of flavour. So I don't really like to blend it and have it all through. I just like to go, where you go, munch, munch, that was a gherkin. Or munch, munch, yum, that's a bit of olive, you know? So, and this is just so simple. So simple. Hello, little bee. Hello, little bee. We've got a bee in here at our cooking demo. No, you're not allowed in there. And that looks so yummy. Very Mediterranean looking, eh? Now, if you don't like any of those ingredients, it doesn't matter, except for the lentils, because obviously it's a sprouted lentil salad, although you could sprout something else. But just mix around and find the flavours that you like. Now, me personally, I've got a little lemon off our tree, and I don't like using a lot of oil at all. So you've already got a little bit of oil, because those sun-dried tomatoes are in oil. But I'm just going to put a little bit of lemon juice over it. Now, I always squeeze my lemon through my hand, so that if there's any pips, hopefully, I'll get to catch them.
Beryl says she enjoys watching our cooking demos.
Oh, hi Beryl, thank you, darling.
And Rebecca also said, that's funny, Tori. LOL, what a funny birthday present.
Yes, we're a bit of a strange family, but I tell you what, we do have a lot of fun. So yeah, we're popping a lemon in there, and that just gives it that little zing. It will also mean that it'll keep it fresh, so if you didn't want to eat it immediately, and this is just such a beautiful salad. I'm just going to wash my hands, guys. Hope and I have actually had a really interesting morning. Yeah, I wondered whether we were even going to be able to do a cooking demo, because we've been having, you know that we cook on our wood stove, and that's why I've been using my little air fryer yesterday and today, because it just kept smoking. I thought, oh no. But anyway, we went up there and sadly there was two big bird's nests. We've got a chimney that goes up like that and then across, and it had gone up and it was just in the corner there. So we tried to get it down, but we couldn't get it out, and so praise the Lord for good son-in-laws, good 6-foot son-in-laws, because we got him to get up on the roof this morning, and he's managed to get that out, so really grateful for that. And then the other thing was we turned the tap on and we got no water. So he was able to fix that as well. So this morning I have to say that Pat might be on my favourite list. Okay, there we go. Yummy lentil salad. Now, I know that I said it before, but I just want to emphasise that you could eat that today just like it is, and that's a good enough meal for you. There's lots of goodies in there, lots of protein in there. You don't need to make lots and lots of varieties of things to put on your plate. Okay, so you could eat that and that would be a great meal. And my suggestion is have a nice big breakfast, a breakfast like a king, have a lunch like the Queen or a decent sized lunch as well, and then have a really light dinner. Or if on your lockdown you're actually not doing much, if you're quite sedentary, then you don't really need a third meal. Just have a piece of fruit or have nothing. Have lots of water, and do drink lots of water. And don't forget, if you are sitting down, then get up and move it. Okay, so we've got our sprouts. Now, remembering that we also sprouted buckwheat, and I love buckwheat. This would be one of Hope and my favourite breakfasts, and it was particularly one of Jan's favourite breakfasts. Sorry about that. Wee moment. Jan was my husband, for anybody who doesn't know, and we sadly lost him nearly 3 years ago now. But yeah, so I just had a moment. So, buckwheat. Now, I'll let you see once I've got it out of this jar. It just even smells so yummy. It smells so live and good for you. Now, remember that I said that make sure you eat it within 2 or 3 days of sprouting it. And I don't know if you can see the little tails on them, but they've got little tails, and that's all you need. It just means that the life has come out of the buckwheat and it's ready to go. Now, buckwheat makes a yummy breakfast. You also can make it as a savoury. You could do just the same salad with your buckwheat as we've made for the lentils. It'll give you a really different taste because it's a more nutty kind of flavour, but still you could do that. But this morning we are going to use it as a breakfast. So, I think actually Asher and Doran maybe, I think you guys have had this buckwheat breakfast when you've brought you and your friends up. Now, the trick of this is adding your nuts, your seeds, your dried fruit into your buckwheat. You can use anything you want to. Remember that what my education tells me and what I'm trying to tell you is use lots of variety of fruits and nuts. So don't just stick to, I really like pumpkin seeds, I'll throw them in everything. Or, I really like almonds. Try and mix it around. So this morning I'm using almonds. I've chopped up a couple of little Brazil nuts. I don't know if you remember, but Brazil nuts are full of selenium, and our soil is supposedly deficient of selenium, so that's great for us too. Now, almonds again are high in protein. They say that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, is it 6 or 12? 6, 8, 10, 12. I'm going to go with 12, but I have a feeling it's 6. That many almonds a day is enough protein for a grown man. Isn't that incredible, eh? We often think that we need to eat huge quantities to get the nutrition in, but particularly these are organic, so they'll have lots of good nutrition in. Okay, so we're going to put all those into here. Now, I've also used figs, and figs aren't my favourite dried fruit, but again, they've got lots of iron in them. And also prunes, and they again have got lots of iron in them. Another dried fruit that has lots of iron is apricots. But make sure you don't get any apricots or any fruit that's still very orange in colour or holding its colour very well, because you can then know that it's full of sulfur dioxide. And sulfur dioxide is the preservative that they use so that we think it looks better. But get your dried apricots that look more brown. They don't have any of that sulfur dioxide in them. Now this looks yummy just like it is. You know what else I like to throw in my buckwheat breakfast? Is I like a few little coconut chips. I'm not going to throw any in here this morning just because we had coconut chips yesterday, and so I want that not to have too much fat. Have you got a question there, Miss Malika?
No, you're getting lots of likes and love hearts this morning though.
Ah, good morning, likes and love hearts. Okay, so you could eat this like this. I would think it would be a bit dry and tasteless. Not tasteless, just not as tasty as it could be. We make a thing which we call peach gold, but I'm going to confuse you because these aren't peaches. But you can use a tin of any fruit that you want to. I happen to have used apricots this morning. So all you do, and make sure, don't buy. I normally preserve my own fruit, and the only reason I'm not using my own preserved fruit this morning is because I want this to be simple for you. I want you to know that you can do this, that you don't have to wait to preserve your fruit and then rah-de-rah, that you can go and buy a can of fruit or a container of fruit at the supermarket. I can smell my apples.
Asher says all he knows about the breakfast is that it tastes good, and he can always count on feeling healthy after eating at our house.
Oh, awesome.
And also Rochelle said good morning from Las Vegas.
Ah, good morning. We love you. How are my little people? Mwah, mwah, mwah. I love you too. Okay, sorry about that. Oh, very cool. That was a bit over the top for you, wasn't it, Rochelle? Okay, let me get back on the job. Apricots. So you could use peaches, you can use blueberries, you can use raspberries. They can actually be frozen to make this recipe. And then you can use pineapple, anything you want. Some cashews. Now that's a tin of apricots and about a half a cup, maybe 3/4 of a cup, whatever you like in your cup, of cashews. There's no real recipe. Hope's laughing at me. But I'm a dump cook, so I'm just giving you rough ideas. Remember, I cook by principle and by nutrition, not necessarily by amount, although it is helpful. But about between half a cup and a cup is great. Turn your sound down. Okie dokie. Now that's pretty simple, isn't it? This makes such a yummy sauce. My apples are really smelling so good, but I don't want them burnt. Okay, this is such a yummy sauce. Now we're going to put it in here. Look at that. Can you see why we call it peach gold? I mean, this is apricots, I know, but doesn't that look good? Here's the cool part. You can put this into a container, the sauce, and with a lid on, and you can keep it in your fridge for a week, if it lasts that long. Don't show your husbands or your wives it, or your girlfriends. Actually, don't show anybody if you want to keep it for yourself. So then just mix that through.
Rebecca said she's got buckwheat nearly sprouted. So.
Who's that?
Rebecca.
Oh, good on you, Rebecca. Yay. Yeah. And I mean, isn't that yummy? That's just so yummy. Seriously, I am so tempted to just put a spoonful of that in my mouth. But I'm trying not to eat between meals. Remember that if you stick to eating with your meals, you make this acid. I'm just going to put it in really simple layman's terms, but you make an acid to digest your food. Now, if you eat between meals, so let's say we have breakfast, and our brain told our stomach, oh, here comes some food. And it starts telling your stomach that right when you're sitting down saying grace and you're sort of salivating, your brain's saying, woohoo, get ready stomach, here it comes. And so it makes up this acid to digest your food. Now, let's say that an hour later you think in your mind, I'm hungry, when actually really you probably just need a glass of water, but you think in your mind, I'm hungry, so you go and have a spoonful of this, or even a raisin. Your brain really cleverly tells your stomach, look out stomach, here comes some more food. So your stomach makes enough acid to digest a meal. But of course you're only having a raisin or a spoonful of something. And so now you're starting to make an acid system. And we know that lots of bugs and diseases don't live in an acid system. Live in an acid system. They don't like an alkaline system. So we really want to try and keep our bodies alkaline. That's why live fresh food and plant-based food is alkaline. So, little hint. Now, what else can we use this sauce for? You could make waffles, you could make pancakes and put this on as a sauce. You could make just fruit salad and put it over the top. Or if you're having friends around, slice up some, like people say, oh, my friends are coming, you know, I had to buy such and such, going back to their old ways. You don't. Just slice up fresh fruit, put this in the middle in a bowl, make sure you've made it well before and refrigerated it, and have it as a dipping sauce. It's beautiful, really beautiful. You could put it over, let's say you boiled up some extra rice for your dinner. Put it over your rice in the morning for breakfast. You know, quinoa, buckwheat, rice, cornmeal, anything. Just remember, I keep telling you and probably driving you crazy, the only thing that limits you with this kind of cooking is your imagination. Okie dokie, so those are our sprouts. I'm just going to put these little wraps on top of those little thingies there, because we do not want the flies on them. And now let's see how our apples are doing. Yum. Okay. They're looking like this right now. Now at this point, you could actually take them out. They're firm but cooked. But you can also cook them a little bit longer so that they really are more like that stewed apple type consistency. And I'll put them on and show you that. And guess what? You can put this over the top of those stuffed apples when you eat them, and then you've got like a custard and you've only had to do one job. So you made breakfast and maybe the apples are for your dinner. But yummy. Okay, have we got any questions? Any thoughts? Any queries?
Rebecca just said thanks for the tips on what to add to the buckwheat or add to your sprouts.
That's my pleasure. Okay, now we're going to make a bean salad. Now when I say a bean salad, you can actually heat this one up as well. Sorry guys. You can actually heat this one up as well and turn it into a casserole if you wanted to. So I like to soak and cook my own beans. And tomorrow I'm actually going to show you the process of how we do that. But today I've just got a tin of mixed beans. They're organic. And what have I done with these beans? Surely I've educated you enough to know what I've already done with them when I opened them.
I don't cook and I know.
She doesn't cook and she knows. Come on. Somebody out there knows. Please tell me someone's been listening. I give you a clue. It's something about taps and water.
We couldn't have done it this morning.
Yeah. Okay, so I just make sure I rinse them well. Rinse them well. So I rinsed these out about 3 or 4 times and then I put them back in the tin just so you could see where they were from. Okay. Now, I'm going to dice up. I don't mind raw onion. So if you don't like raw onion, you just make sure that you give this a good little cook up before you put it in your beans. But I don't mind raw onion. But I do like to dice it pretty fine.
We did have somebody that was listening.
Ah.
We got a rinse.
Very good. Make sure you rinse your beans out really well. And you know that it's good for your gut when you rinse them out, because the reality is, remember that your exhaust pipe won't be being used so often. So you pop your onion into there. Your onion. Oh, this looks so good. I like it like that already. And some tomatoes. So a couple of tomatoes and a capsicum. I didn't chop these up this morning because I just wasn't sure how much time we'd have. So this was my backup recipe, really. Oh, and for those of you who looked yesterday, I did go out and redo my my kikuya yesterday in my path, and it's coming up really good. So I'm still going to pull it out because I don't want it just to stay there looking like a brown mess, but it's actually worked really well. So that was 2 very liberal servings of vinegar on that kikuya, and it seems to have got it. And yesterday served as a really nice hot day to help kill that off. So if you don't know what on earth I'm talking about, and this is the first cooking demo that you've looked at, make sure you go back and look at yesterday's demo, and you'll get to see what I'm on about. Okay, so some nicely diced up capsicum going in there now. Yum, yum, yum. And some tomato, or tomato for you in America. Tomato. So nice that we know that people have got home safely to where they need to be. I must admit, I did have a bit of a secret hope that you'd get stuck here, but only because I want to get to know you more. But yeah, so we're going to pop some tomato into here. So we've got onion, tomato, capsicum, and your beans. Now, I of course would love to see green going in here. Lots of green. I need to bring some kale in and put kale in here this morning, but I've forgotten to do kale, so I'm just going to grab some spinach out of the fridge. We had a lot of spinach left over from the shop, from the cafe, and so I've had to use up lots of spinach. But I put a couple, 2 really good handfuls of spinach in there. And you imagine, if you bake this down, how delicious this will be as well. Okay, this is so nice. So nice. Now, who remembers yesterday the dressing? It's Richard Flies. The dressing that we made yesterday. Does anybody remember which dressing we made yesterday? We made a tahini dressing. Sorry, and I forgot to bring it out. Tahini dressing. And some tomato paste. So we made a tahini dressing yesterday, and if you remember, we used it. What did we use it on yesterday? Who remembers? I made up a chickpea. Remember, I made up a chickpea salad, and then we put it on the toast with the soup. So it's gone quite thick. So this is great. It's a great spread for on your breads or on your toast. Really, really nice. Really tasty. Don't know if any of you made it, but it's really good.
Catherine said she's looking forward to making the bean salad, but she needs to brave the queues at the supermarket first.
Oh, yes.
And Judy Harding said it was the tahini dressing we made yesterday.
Right. The tahini dressing. Now remember, I said to you, with the tahini dressing you can use it for other things and just add other flavours in. So for our beans, we're just going to add that's about a dessert spoon. We'll make it up to a tablespoon, there we go, of tomato paste. And I'll give that a little whiz up. Turn your sound down again for a minute. Do you remember that when I made the dressing at first I made it quite thin, but then I added some more tahini from the toast, so I'm just going to add a little bit of water in here just to make it a bit thinner for the salad. not salad, for the bean casserole. It's bean salad, whatever you want to call it. Now this is not a huge amount of tomato paste, but it's enough to make it a nice orangey colour. So we'll pop that in here. Now I'm not going to mix this through. I would just pop it in blobs on it. If you want to bake this, then I would suggest that you mix it through. But if you're happy just to have it like it is, then just put blobs of this on top of it, like that. Yum, yum. Oh, that's so good, so good. So that when you eat it, of course, it's going to go through. That looks so nice. Okay, my friends. Here we go. Look at these wretched fellows. And our apples have just pinged for us. Oh, they're yummy now. I'm not going to put them on my wooden bench. I'll get Hope to take a photo later. But the apples are all beautiful and soft and ready to go. Yummy. And remember that you can use that dressing over the top of your apples. So, I hope that's been helpful today. We've got our sprouts that we've started using up. We've got our little bean salad. Remember that in those sprouts and in those beans, I looked on this can and it said if you ate this can of beans, you got 30% of your protein. So, you know, just having some beans gives you a good amount of protein. But then you've got your almonds, you've got all sorts of things, your greens. Do you know that even lettuce has protein in it? So don't worry about your protein. And I always think about this. You know, we often get told that we have to eat animals to get protein, but they don't eat each other. They just eat grass. So they do nothing in their body to turn that grass into protein for us. So we can just live off plant food as well. Isn't that amazing? Okay, have a great day. We love you all. Jesus loves you even more. See ya.